Hey guys, stop everything, because we had a lot of updates from the DCU. All this info came from that meeting James Gunn had with the press last Friday. In that meeting, James Gunn released a ton of DCU information. He discussed all the projects he announced 2 years ago in that video, announcing the first chapter of the DCU, and also revealed new animated projects. Additionally, he talked about the status of each project from DC Studios. All right, there's a lot to discuss, but before we start, don't forget to hit the like button, comment below, and subscribe for more content like this. Also, follow our other social media accounts on Instagram and Threads. I'll keep you updated about this universe we love so much. So guys, since there was a lot of info, we'll categorize it into films and series and animations. Let's start with what everyone wants to know most, the updates on the live-action films of the DCU. As it was a press conference, people there could ask questions to James Gunn, and he updated everyone on each of these projects. All right, let's start with the Batman Part 2. James Gunn confirmed that the script for the Batman Part 2 isn't 100% finalized yet, but that he has read some drafts and liked what he saw. But it's that same old issue. The script isn't ready. Matt Reeves is still working on it. The expectation is that the Batman Part 2 will be filmed in December this year. One thing that sparked anticipation is that Peter Safran referred to Matt Reeves' films as a trilogy. This was the first time a co-CEO said this because it was never really confirmed that the Batman would be a trilogy. There were speculations before, but now it seems like it's really a trilogy. During the Q&A with James Gunn, some people obviously asked if Robert Pattinson would be the Batman of the DCU. James Gunn answered these questions, but seemed slightly annoyed by it since people keep asking him. He confirmed for the millionth time that Robert Pattinson is Matt Reeves' Batman, and that the DCU Batman will be another character. He reiterated this for what seems like the trillionth time. Still, people keep asking him. It's unbelievable. James Gunn also mentioned that when they were developing the DCU, they considered all possibilities, including Robert Pattinson as Batman for the DCU. They even thought about Grant Gustin being Flash for the DCU, but ultimately decided to keep things separate. I really hope this answer puts an end to this discussion since we've been talking about it for 2 years now. James Gunn has always stated they are separate entities since the first announcement of the DCU, so enough already. They are two different characters, Robert Pattinson in the Batman and DCU's Batman in its own universe. Now, talking about the DCU's Batman, we also had news about the Brave and the Bold, and James Gunn confirmed that there is already a screenwriter working on the script for the movie, but he didn't reveal who that screenwriter is. He also mentioned that he is working closely with this screenwriter to ensure that this Batman is the Batman he likes. And James Gunn has said several times that Batman is one of his favorite characters from DC, and I believe that's why he wants to keep a close eye on this Batman aspect. Now, what he prefers about his Batman, we don't know, but from what we know about James Gunn, I feel like he really likes the comic book version of Batman. Batman, the Brave and the Bold, as far as we know, will be based on Grant Morrison's comics, which feature the arrival of Damian Wayne, and this is a very acclaimed phase of Batman. It has a lot of comic elements in it and is quite fantastic, but it's not quite like the Batman. It's kind of a middle ground that manages to combine everything at once. I feel like James Gunn will want to do something in that style, and I think that's why he's trying to stay very involved with the movie. The Hollywood Reporter even published an article about the possibility of Andy Muschietti stepping down as director of The Brave and the Bold, since he doesn't seem to be directly involved in the project. However, in the same interview, Peter Safran mentioned Andy Muschietti directly, saying that he would receive the script when it's ready. So here, I've seen some people getting confused because when Peter Safran said this, people thought Andy Muschietti would continue as the director of this movie. But in reality, they are going to deliver the script first before deciding if he will be the director. So this doesn't mean he will direct the movie, but it also doesn't mean he won't direct it, so there's still some uncertainty there. Regarding Sergeant Rock, James Gunn confirmed that, yes, this movie is happening. He praised the script and also appreciated the possibility of making a film set during World War II. It seems Luca Guadagnino will indeed be directing this film, and they want to shoot it in the summer, meaning between June and September. However, for them to do this, they first need an actor. It was clear from James Gunn's words that they want to find the right actor for this film. They won't start filming until then. But the script is ready. They are already pre-producing the film, so they just need to cast the actors. Again, Clayface and Sergeant Rock are two films that I'm not sure if they should be made right now, especially Sergeant Rock. But James Gunn like the script, and Luca Guadagnino is involved in the film, so we can only hope it turns out well. As for Clayface, just like Sergeant Rock, Clayface is another character who isn't major but will have his own movie. This movie is scheduled to be released on September 11th, 2026. And a big piece of news from James Gunn's interview is the confirmation that this film will take place in two cities, Gotham and Hollywood. Now they're saying that the movie might take place in Hollywood. To me, that's a justification for Batman not appearing in this film. So something must happen in Gotham with Batman, and Clayface will flee to Hollywood to disguise himself as a Hollywood star. But that doesn't mean Batman won't show up in the film. After all, James Gunn mentioned in this interview that Batman from the DCU will appear before his own movie. So maybe he'll make a special cameo or appear in a shadow or even on a TV news report. Just because the brave and the bold will take time doesn't mean Batman won't show up. You can be sure he will appear, and among all other projects, I can't see another one where he has a better chance of appearing than in Clayface's movie. Additionally, for marketing purposes, they're going to have to sell Batman because we know that few people are excited about this movie. Moving on to the next piece of news, which is about the movie The Authority. This was one of the films that James Gunn announced in that video 2 years ago, and he was very excited about this project, right? He said it was a dream of his, but at this moment, this is one of the projects that has fallen behind the most. James Gunn said there were a series of factors that led to this. He mentioned it would take a little longer for us to see this movie. I think something happened in the pre-production of this film. Maybe the script wasn't good, and he might not have liked it, and perhaps they even restarted it. So I really think this movie will take some time, and maybe the script wasn't very good, which is why they decided to put the film on hold. There was a rumor that this movie would be an animation, but James Gunn didn't comment on that during the interview. So we effectively don't know if this film will be an animation. When they were discussing this film, Peter Safran said that The Authority will be a very big movie and that it touches on some points involving Superman's story, which is obvious since one of the characters from The Authority is in the Superman movie. So maybe they considered making it an animation because it would be cheaper to execute. And Peter Safran himself said it's a very big film. Of course, The Authority's situation is significant because of the characters and the problems they get involved in. So theoretically, this film would have to be quite expensive, which means it will take a little longer. And the rumor about the movie being an animation doesn't mean anything. Everything will depend on the script. All right, now let's move on to the next piece of news about the Teen Titans movie. Again, James Gunn mentioned that this film is really happening and that Ana Nogueira is writing the script. Now, the rumors about this film are that the lineup will be from the 2000s Teen Titans cartoon, Raven, Beast Boy, Starfire, Cyborg, and Robin, the lineup everyone knows because of the 2000s cartoon. One thing I didn't expect was for this movie to come out before the Justice League movie. I think that's absurd, but we'll have to see what the premise of the film is. Now, for those who wanted to see Donna Troy and Wally West in the lineup, that's going to be quite complicated. The last update regarding DCU films involves Swamp Thing. In this case, James Gunn completely passed the ball to James Mangold because he said he's waiting for James Mangold since he will be writing and directing the film. So everything depends on James Mangold. It's 100% his project. At this point, all we can do is wait for him to take on this project, because if not, it will take quite some time for Swamp Thing's movie to happen. Now let's start talking about television series. The big news regarding this is confirmation that Peacemaker Season 2 will premiere in August of this year. We speculated it could premiere in September or October, but no, it's going to be in August, 1 month after Superman's release. So there will be a DC overdose. July and August are really going to be booming months for DC. It will be really great. For Lantern's series, everything that was said we already knew, except for the expectation of release being set for early 2026. And when they say early, I think it will be in the first quarter because HBO usually releases its projects in January and February when it's for a major series. I think Lanterns will fit into that as a major series in January or February. There was also an update on Booster Gold's series. I don't know if you remember, but last year there was a rumor about Booster Gold's series saying there was an actor cast and a showrunner. Now, James Gunn commented that this showrunner, whom no one knew who he was, has dropped out of the series. He was super excited working on the project, but then James Gunn commented that out of nowhere, he lost so much interest and they had to look for another showrunner. And this is a series that is in development, but it ended up being delayed due to all these problems. So I think the Booster Gold series is going to take a while, just like The Authority. Now, talking a bit about James Gunn's plans for the DCU, he confirmed that they have a 6-year plan for the DCU. And at the end of those 6 years, there will be some kind of crossover or a movie like Avengers Endgame that will bring all the heroes together in a saga. I think that was kind of obvious, right? Because they are going to create a shared universe for DC, and there's no way to do that without them meeting. But at least now we have a projection for the DCU until 2031. By then, there will definitely be a Justice League movie. Another thing James Gunn mentioned is about the release planning for the DCU projects, because he said that the idea is to make 2 live-action films per year, 1 animated film per year, 2 live-action series for HBO Max, and 2 animated series. In other words, he's talking about 7 new projects from DC Studios each year. In his statement, it wasn't very clear if My Adventures with Superman, the Harley Quinn animation, and Batman Caped Crusader are included in these discussions, and I don't think they are, because those are projects that came from the old management of DC, and I'm sure he's not only talking about the DCU, he's also talking about Elseworlds projects. James Gunn also mentioned that at this moment there are 5 animated series projects being developed, and we know about 5 of them because 3 have been announced. The first animation they announced is My Adventures with Green Lantern, which will follow Green Lantern Jessica Cruz as she receives her power ring. As soon as the show was announced, people saw the title My Adventures with Green Lantern and thought it could be in the same universe as My Adventures with Superman, since the title and logo font are practically the same. Now, I think the concept of the animation is pretty cool. I just hope there are other Green Lanterns in the story. Another animation that caught me by surprise is the one about Starfire. We even got a synopsis for the animation, which says that Starfire will take a rocket and escape from Tamaran, and she will end up meeting 2 friends, Crush, who, for those who don't know, is Lobo's daughter, and another character named Amethyst from Gemworld. So it's an animation with 3 female characters, and it seems pretty clear who the target audience for this animation is. It also doesn't seem to be a serious animation. Given its premise, it will likely be a children's show. The third announced animation is called Superpowers, and its premise is very child-friendly because its synopsis states that the story will take place in a school with some heroes, and the director of this school will be Martian Manhunter. The confirmed characters are Flash, Plastic Man, Aquagirl, and Green Lantern. So, folks, based on the premises of these series, they certainly won't take place in the DCU. Well, those are the 3 announced animations, and we know there are 5. The 4th is probably going to be about Blue Beetle, and according to information from the press, it's about to get the green light to happen. So we practically have 5 confirmed animated series along with the 2nd season of Creature Commandos, and there's one last project that was announced in this interview, which will be a series of shorts featuring Krypto, the same Krypto that we'll see in the Superman movie. They didn't provide more information about this project other than that there will be 4 Krypto shorts, and I imagine they will be live action. And I actually think this idea is pretty cool, too. You don't need to make an animated series or a movie about Krypto or anything like that. Just do some shorts to have fun after Superman's movie premieres. It's going to be really cool. It even reminds me a bit of that Groot animation, which is also a series of shorts. It's really nice. It's compact and focused on its issues, and I imagine this Krypto short will follow a similar style to Groot's animation. All right, everyone, those were the news announced by James Gunn about DC. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below, and don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.